Greetings and salutations, this is Techrenon here with a very special video. I usually don't do videos like this, but I decided to start trying to do like a little bit of side content on the side of my Let's Plays to kind of give my channel more variety. If you enjoy this type of video, please demolish that like button, and if you want more content like this or just want to watch me ramble over Let's Play videos and make jokes on the side of that rambling, then hit that subscribe button. But today I'm going to be going over my favorite level song from each Sonic game that I played. Now, the reason I've specified that I played and level song is for a good reason. With level song, it's because I don't want to include main themes or final boss themes, because if I did, half this list would be those, let's be real. And as for why I'm choosing games I've played, because I want, in most cases on this video, I want the songs to be from levels I've actually played through, so I can, I have a little more of an opinion to give on it. There will be a couple exceptions in this video, since I never got that far in Sonic CD or Sonic 1, and I never beat the original Sonic Riders. So there will be some exceptions in those parts of the video that might not, you know, be levels I played through. But anyway, the last thing I want to get out of the way before we get into this is that this video is probably going to be a little extra long. If it ends up being too long, I'm going to split it into two parts. So, yeah, you might get two parts of this. But without further ado, let's get into this. Now, with Sonic 1, there wasn't really many options I could choose from. I'm already not a big fan of Sonic 1 because a lot of the level design past Green Hill kinda isn't that great, let's be real. But that's kind of first game syndrome, you know, like a lot of first games in series are a lot more messy or a lot less well designed than the games that come after. In most cases, there are exceptions, but it was between this and Green Hill, because I don't really care for most of the soundtrack for Sonic 1 in the first place, mainly because I never got attached to most of it. But this song and Green Hill are both songs I really love. The reason this one goes over the Green Hill, though, is because this one is the first song that always pops in my head when I think of Sonic 1. Green Hill, I know, will be the one that pops in the heads for other people, but let's be real, Green Hill's kind of like left a bitter taste in most people's mouths in recent years because Sonic Team and Sega keep using it over and over, so that's kind of part of what plays to me choosing this one. But what also made me choose Spring Yard, which is the zone we're talking about now, as the best song in Sonic 1, it's just a vibe. Like, there's not really much I can say about it, really. It's just like the kind of song you could just put on in the background and kind of vibe to, you know? Like, it's got the, like, it's catchy, it's got kind of like, a synthy sound to it. I don't want to use the word synthy because that sounds stupid, but like, you know, a lot of these old, like, classic Sonic songs use a lot of synths and stuff, and a lot of, like, what sounds like, I forget what the name of the, instrument is, but it's those ones that look, it's kind of like a keyboard, and you hit it with, like, little drumsticks or something. You know what I'm talking about, But not really much to say about this one. Sonic 1 was really, like, one of the hardest ones to choose from because there's only really, like, 6 options, and 4 of them suck, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about Spring Yard Zone. Let's move on to Sonic 2. Metropolis Zone. The zone infamous for those green, grasshopper-looking enemies that pissed so many people off. Now, granted, these songs are not chosen by how good the level is. I'm going to be honest right there, because I can't stand Metropolis Zone. Metropolis Zone is kind of where Sonic 2 falls off for me, because everything from Metropolis Zone onwards is unbearable, but when everything before it was fire. So, You might be wondering, how did the song get on here? Well, the song was the one saving grace to the damn thing. The song is what makes it bearable to get through. Like, let's be real, like, Metropolis Zone, it might not factually have the best song in Sonic 2, but it has one of the best ones and my personal favorite. Because this song is kind of what got me through Metropolis Zone. If I'm being real with you, like, if it wasn't for this song, I don't think I would have pushed through it. Like, sometimes that's what happens. A similar thing happened with me with, what was it, Sky Babylon in, Sonic Rush Adventure. Sometimes you just need good music to push through a hard level, you know, like, and this is a song like that. It's an upbeat, energetic song. It feels like it's basically telling you, keep pushing, move on, you can do this. Like, that's the kind of vibe I get from how this song sounds. And quite honestly, that might just be me reading too much into the sound of music, but I make my own music now, so I kind of can, like, interpret stuff that way, you know? Like, lately, as time goes on, I can kind of, like, look into how, like, the instrumentals and stuff sound, and kind of, like, interpret it a certain way, depending on what it is. And I know I'm reading too much into a fucking level from 1992, but let's be real, the song is fire. That's all I got left to say. Moving on. Sonic CD, my least favorite classic Sonic game, and my fourth least favorite game in the overall series, next to 06, Secret Rings, and Forces. Yeah, I really don't care about this game. And if I'm being honest, this is one of like two games where where the level itself had almost nothing to do with the track I chose for it. Because I never got to Title Tempest. But my choice for this game is Title Tempest Good Future, the Japanese and Europe version. Now, I'm one of the people who prefer the international soundtrack as opposed to the US one. That might just be me, but I personally prefer it in most cases, and Title Tempest is one of those cases. Because this song right here, what I love about it is it's got kind of like a hip-hop vibe to it. And you know, I'm a big hip-hop fan. That's my favorite music genre of all time. And I also just like the sound of the instrumentals used here. It's really chill. It's almost like, it's kind of a vibe similar to what I said about Spring Yard Zone. It's really just a vibe to listen to. And I also like how it's using like the boom bap sounding drums. You know, the boom 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 boom. Like, I love that. Like, that's my kind of shit right there. So honestly, this song might just be a biased but good future for Title Tempest is my pick for Sonic CD. Moving on to Sonic 3. Hydrocity Zone. I know some people call it Hydro City Zone, but honestly, I just think Hydrocity sounds a lot better, and that's just my personal opinion. But Hydrocity Zone is already one of my favorite, if not my favorite zone from the Sonic 3 half of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And yes, I am splitting up Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles here, only because I couldn't bring myself to choose between the two tracks I have chosen for them. So I kind of let myself cheat a little here and just split the games in half like they were originally released. So, why did I choose Hydrocity Zone Act 2? Well, Hydrocity Zone Act 1 is already a banger, an absolute banger. It's one of the most fitting tracks across all the classic Sonic games. And in my personal opinion, I think it tops any song from Sonic 1, 2, and CD by a long shot. Like, I don't think anything from any other classic Sonic game best this or what I chose for Sonic and Knuckles. But what makes Act 2 of Hydrocity Zone my choice is that it's more upbeat, it's a little faster paced, it's got like an energetic feel to it, kind of like Metropolis Zone had when we were talking about that. Hydrosity Zone Act 2 kind of just sounds like a musical masterpiece. Like, it sounds like a song you could listen to with no vocals or anything like that, because I'm a guy who prefers vocals in songs. So when I say I could listen to like something that don't have vocals to it, it means it goes off. And Hydrosity Zone Act 2 goes off. A lot of songs on this list go off, because I would listen to most of these, like, by choice. And then none of them have vocals, for the most part. A couple we'll get to later do, but that's not the point. Hydrosity Zone Act 2 is by choice for Sonic 3. Death Egg Act 1. This is by choice for Sonic and the Sonic and Knuckles side of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now, why would I choose this when Death Egg is not one of my favorite levels? Well, to put it into perspective here, my favorite level on the Sonic 3 and Knuckles side the Sonic and Knuckles side of Sonic 3 and Knuckles is Lava Reef, but the music there isn't that memorable. It's the level that's carrying everything there. However, I actually do have fun with Death Egg. It's not one of my favorite zones in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but it's up there. It's in the upper half of the zones if I were to rank them all. Why do I like this music? Because it's very fitting for a final level in a Sonic game. Like, this might be the most final level sounding song in the entire franchise, and it does it well. It almost sounds like it could have been like from Phantasy Star 4 or like other classic games. Like, that's how good it is. Like, it wouldn't just fit Sonic. It could also fit like a classic Phantasy Star game. It could probably fit like a game like RFL or like... There's just a lot of places where a song like this would fit. And I think that's what makes me love it so much, is that, like, you could put it over like levels and areas from different games, and I don't think people would really bat an eye. Like, it would be that fitting for so many different types of games. I also like the sci-fi electric sound to it that just makes it sound so good. And like I said before, it kind of reminds me a bit of Phantasy Star 4's soundtrack. And Phantasy Star 4 is a game I recently played that was a lot of fun. I almost Let's Played it, but I kind of decided against it last second. But I might Let's Play it in the future. Who knows? Without further ado, let's get to the last classic game in this video. Gene Gadget Act 1 from Sonic 3D Blast. Now, this is part of the Genesis soundtrack and not the Saturn one. I know a lot of people will say the Saturn one is better, but kind of similar to CD. I do have a strong opinion on which soundtrack I like better, and I do much prefer the Genesis soundtrack just because it's way more memorable to me and a lot more catchy. But that might just be me, and one example of that is Gene Gadget Act 1. I never got to this stage in 3D Blast, but I did get pretty far in 3D Blast. I got way farther in it than I did Sonic 1 or Sonic CD. But this song still goes off to me. It's similar to the song we just talked about for Sonic and Knuckles, Death Egg Act 1. It has a very Phantasy Star 4 feel to it. And that's something I can appreciate. If you don't know why I keep bringing up Phantasy Star 4, is because that was also a classic Sega series that had very similar music to the later classic Sonic games. And honestly, I vibe with it. I honestly vibe with it. To me, 3D Blast and Sonic 3 and Knuckles have the better soundtracks out of the 5 classic games we're going over here. 6 technically, because I'm counting Sonic and Knuckles as separate from Sonic 3. But still, this is by choice. I just think this song hits. Not really much to go into here like I have with other songs, or other songs we'll be getting to soon. So that's about it. Let's move on. Bad Taste Aquarium Hot Shelter, aka the theme used for Sonic's version of Hot Shelter. I don't know what other characters it's used for. I never played Adventure 1 too much, but I did think this was my favorite song out of the level songs from that game. To me, it's another song that just hits, similar to the one I just went over. Not really much to say here, it's just a good song. Like, the electric guitar hits, the drums hit, everything hits here. Like, what else is there to say? I'm sorry that I'm like blanking on stuff to say on a few of these songs, but sometimes some of these choices I'm just choosing because I like them. Not much more to say than that, you know? But again, there will be some more songs I'll go into a little more later, kind of like I did a couple songs earlier in the video. So without further ado, and I know I've been saying that way too much, let's move on to Adventure 2. City Escape. Everyone who's a Sonic fan, and even people who have just like know just a little bit about the series but never really played it, knows what this song is. It's one of the most iconic songs across the entire franchise, and the first vocal theme that we have on this list. Now, remember when I said that I won't be including main themes or final boss themes, and it's just going to be level themes? Well, because if I did, most of the list would have been songs like this, and there wouldn't have been much variety going on, and it would have been unfair to like the regular level choices in most games. But City Escape, what is there to say? This song goes off, the singing is on point, the electric guitar is on point, the drum is on point. This song just screams Sonic Adventure 2. Similar to what I said about Spring Yard Zone with Sonic 1. Every time I think of Sonic Adventure 2, this is the first song that pops to my head. Not Live and Learn, this song. Live and Learn comes second though, but again, that song wouldn't even have counted because it's a main theme / final boss theme. This song just hits in every damn way. It fits the level perfectly. It fits the game it comes from perfectly. It fits the character of Sonic perfectly. This level is Sonic Adventure 2 Sonic Stage personified. And that's really what makes it so awesome. Casino Park from Sonic Heroes. Now, granted, this is probably the second worst stage in that game next to Rail Canyon, but out of the 14 stages, those are the two I like least, at least. But you gotta admit, the music here bangs and it goes hard. Like, the music here, similar to what I said about City Escape, fits the level like a glove. It fits the level so much that you can't help but jam out while you're suffering through the bad pinball physics. And as someone who grew up on Sonic Heroes and has a little bit of a nostalgia bias for it, I will admit the pinball physics in this game, as well as Rail Canyon, both suck. But this song does not. This song is similar to what I said about Metropolis Zone, the saving grace of the entire stage. Aside from the stage having some cool visual designs as well, let's be real, it's one of the most beautiful looking stages from Sonic Heroes. But this right here, this song is just a vibe. It fits the stage like a glove. I love the keys that are used there. I love like the unique way the drums are assembled. And I don't have like the right terms to really explain what I'm trying to say better, because you know, I may be like getting more into music, but I still got a lot to learn, you know. But I do know when I can appreciate certain instruments. The keys in the song go off, so do the drums. I really like that. Like that stuff, that part right there just hits, man. Shadow the Hedgehog. This game has been bashed to hell and back, let's be real. And I'm not going to be one of the people that bash it, because in my honest opinion, I always found this game fun. I'm not going to lie, it does have like 3 or 4 stages I don't like going back to, but for the most part, the game is a pretty fun time. And Lava Shelter is the best example of that. In my personal opinion, Lava Shelter is the best stage in the entire game. Not only because of the music, which I'm going to get into in a second, because that's what this video is all about, but also because of the cool way that you can have the lava rise to change the level design and layout if you do Eggman's mission in it. But it's also because it's the game that understands how to use the way Shadow the Hedgehog's mechanics work the best. It feels like it's the level where they got everything right. But now, let's get into the music. Aside from my bias of this level and it being my favorite level from the entire game, the music here sounds like it would be right at home in Sonic Adventure 2 or even Sonic Heroes. It doesn't feel like it's a Shadow the Hedgehog exclusive song, and honestly, I won't lie, I wouldn't be surprised that this game was like this stage was a leftover stage from a previous 3D Sonic game before this, because it's so good. I could see this being an Adventure 2 stage, quite honestly. And the music here, like, I don't know what to say. I really don't. This is another song where I mainly put it here just because I like it. That's really it. And I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry I don't have much to say about this, but this song was literally chosen just because I like it, and that's okay. Sometimes we like something and we don't really have to explain why. What You Need, Blazy remix from Sonic Rush. This is the theme for the deadline stages in Blaze's story in Sonic Rush for the DS. What is there to say about this? This song is literally music to the ears, and I know that's kind of weird to say about music in the first place, because of course it's music to the ears, it's fucking music, but like, there's just something about this song that makes you just want to go through a level. Like, literally, I wish this song was an option for Generations. You could just throw on any level, because I feel like it would make that level an absolute blast to go through. This is another song I chose just because I like it. There's not much I can really say exactly to really say why it's good, because it's mostly just a bias here. But I do really enjoy this song, and I do think it's the best the Sonic Rush soundtrack has to offer, in my personal opinion. Now, this has been part 1 of the best level theme from each Sonic game. I will be working on a part 2 that I'm hopefully going to be getting out the week after this. I'm hoping to have these released back-to-back Saturdays. So, hope you're looking forward to that, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to demolish that like button like I said at the beginning, and subscribe for more content if you want to hear me ramble and joke over Let's Play videos. Peace.